Have you ever watched The Lion King and felt like something was just missing? Because throughout the franchise, Disney left us with many questions they never really answered. Some are just small details, but some of them are huge gaps that fans have been trying to fill for years. So today, we're going over 9 of the biggest mysteries in The Lion King that Disney never explained. Number 1. Who is Nala's father? We see Nala's mother, Serafina, throughout the original movie, but her father is never shown, not once. When people started asking about this, the directors jokingly admitted they were hoping nobody would notice he was missing, which means they knew, but they just didn't think it would be important. Years later, the Lion Guard finally reveals something, but not much. Rafiki shows a cave painting about Nala's father as a cub, being saved by a previous Lion Guard. So now we know he existed, but that's it. We never learn what happened to him, whether he died, whether he left, or whether something else entirely separated him from Serafina and Nala. We don't even get a vague timeline of when he disappeared from her life. Disney confirmed just enough to prove the gap was intentional, without ever actually filling it. It's almost more frustrating than if they'd said nothing at all, because we don't even get his name. Number 2. The first cub's identity. At the start of The Lion King 2, we see Kiara as a newborn cub, presented to the Pride Lands in a joyful ceremony. But if you go back and compare her to the cub presented at the very end of the first movie, something doesn't quite line up. The two cubs look different. The way the ceremony itself plays out is different. In the first one, Rafiki carries the cub up Pride Rock himself, while in the second, Nala brings her cub to him instead. And on top of that, Simba and Nala both look noticeably older at the start of the second movie than they did moments earlier at the end of the first one. I've already gone over this in full detail in my video about Kopu, where I lay out the theory that the first cub could actually be him and what this could mean for the story. But to this day, it remains one of the most debated and unresolved inconsistencies, and Disney has never given us a clean explanation for it. Number 3. Who was king before Mufasa? In Mufasa, the Lion King, we learn something that completely reshapes how we think about the Pride Lands. The Pride Lands, as we know them, didn't exist yet. There was only Malele, a hidden, mythical paradise. And Mufasa and Scar weren't even born there. They discovered it as young lions while running for their lives from Kiros and his army. After the battle against the outsiders, when Malele was finally safe, the animals who lived there chose Mufasa to become their king. It's framed as a turning point, a beginning. But Malele was already kind of a functioning society before. It had been a secret place where animals of every species lived in harmony, completely hidden from the chaos of the Valley of Kings. And I think such a place needed someone to rule and protect it, some way of keeping order and deciding who could enter and who couldn't. So who ruled Malele before Mufasa? Or was there simply no ruler at all? If that's the case, I don't think it would take a long time until it would fall apart. But for now, let's move to number 4, and we will stay with the newest Mufasa movie for this one. In scenes after Kiros' defeat, there is a detail most people missed. We actually see hyenas living peacefully within Malele. They're not outcasts, and they don't seem like enemies. They're simply part of the ecosystem, the same as every other species there. But by the time we reach the original Lion King, hyenas are banished, living in the harsh conditions of the Outlands. So at some point between those two movies, Mufasa made the decision to banish them, but we're never shown why, or when, or what they did to deserve it. And we don't know how they came to ally with Scar. But what we also don't know about them is number 5. You see, Scar commanded hundreds of hyenas during his reign. There were so many of them that they almost destroyed the Pride Lands. But after Scar's death, they simply vanished. In the second movie, Nuka gives us a little clue.
This place is even creepier since the hyenas ran off.
But that's the only acknowledgement the franchise ever gives us. People always assumed they burned with the fire on Pride Rock, but Nuka's statement probably means they survived. And years later, the Lion Guard introduces an entirely new hyena clan, led by Janja, without ever clarifying whether they're descendants of Scar's original army, survivors who scattered and regrouped, or a completely unrelated group that somehow got into the same outlands. I think this is one of the biggest mysteries on this list, because it doesn't regard just one or two characters. It was hundreds of hyenas that just disappeared and have never been mentioned properly again. But let's get back to the Mufasa movie. Number 6. At the very end, Simba and Nala return home with a newborn cub, and Kiara is introduced to her new baby brother for the first time. It's a sweet moment, but the cub is never actually named on screen. Almost certainly, this cub is meant to be Kion, as he's younger than Kiara. The timeline fits perfectly with what we already know from the Lion Guard, so realistically, there's no other character this could be. But here's what makes it strange. Simba, or anyone, simply saying the name Kion would have completely confirmed it and connected the movie directly to the show. Instead, Disney deliberately left it nameless and open-ended. Speaking of Kion, he leads us to the next point, which is about his beloved mate, Rani. Rani was born to Sahasi and Ananda and had a younger brother named Balio. As the firstborn, she was raised from a young age to one day become queen of the Tree of Life. But at some point during her childhood, both of her parents died, and her grandmother, Queen Jana, stepped in to raise her and personally prepare her for the throne. Throughout the Lion Guard, Rani still speaks to her parents, but only as spirits, turning to them for comfort and guidance during difficult moments. It's clear they meant a great deal to her, but we are never told how they died. Was it an illness or an attack from some outside animals that threatened the Tree of Life? We don't even know if it's connected to the scar Rani carries on her foreleg, something else the show never bothers to explain. And unlike with Nala's father, there is no cave painting or something that would give us at least a clue. Speaking of vague deaths, we have Sarabi. She plays a major role throughout the entire first movie. She's Mufasa's mate, Simba's mother, and she's the strong rock holding the pride together during the Dark Era. Then in the second movie, she's simply gone. Simba always speaks about Mufasa.
My father's law will prevail, and I must follow in my father's.
But he never acknowledges that Sarabi ever even existed. The real-world reason behind this is genuinely heartbreaking. Madge Sinclair, the voice actress who brought Sarabi to life, passed away just 1 year after the first movie, and Disney made the decision not to recast the role for the sequel. But in-universe, within the actual story, we get absolutely nothing. No explanation of how or when she died, no farewell, not even a mention of her. Because of this, fans have spent years filling that gap themselves. Some believe she simply died of old age sometime between the two movies. Others have gone further, theorizing that Zira may have been somehow involved. Perhaps not directly, but through neglect, sabotage, or something far darker that the movie never shows us. This is one of those mysteries I think we will never get an explanation for, but we will see. And speaking of Zira and mothers connected to unanswered questions, number 9. Who are Kovu's real parents? We know for certain that Scar wasn't Kovu's biological father. Both Nuka and Kovu himself confirmed this directly. Most people simply assume Zira is at least his mother. But even that has never actually been confirmed. The director of Simba's Pride has said publicly that Zira was originally written to be Scar's queen, but the studio deliberately kept their actual relationship vague in the final version, which means to this day, we genuinely don't know who Kovu's real parents are. He could be Zira's son fathered by another lion, or maybe he was adopted by her, or even taken from somewhere else entirely. I made a full video going over multiple theories on exactly this, so if you want to dive deeper into it, you can watch that one next. Long live the king.